So the next step on the rally car build-up project is moving on to powder coating the subframes. Basically what I need to do is disassemble all the subframes and all the little components and pieces in the car that I'm going to be powder coating, clean them up really good, and then take a tiger paw to all the edges and clean them up. When you send a part to powder coat, most of the money that you pay is for the guy to prep all the parts for powder coat. So they charge by the hour to do all their preparation. So if you can do it yourself, it's a lot better. What they look for is any sharp edges, any welding slag. They want all that stuff taken off the parts. So when they powder coat it, it all comes out nice and smooth. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing today. So right now I'm disassembling the rear trailing arm for the rally car to prep it for powder coat. I'm actually taking off the Daytona Shelby Z rear wheel disc, and I'll be putting on the Spirit RT rear discs, which are a wider vented rotor. And I'm using the Shelby Z rear trailing arm because actually it's a ½ an inch wider track than the stock Dodge Shadow rear trailing arm. And also it has a solid bar inside it, so it helps with the flex on the trailing arm. So right now I'm pulling off the old rusty Daytona brakes, which is a fairly quick process, but I'll tell you right now, this 18-volt impact gun, if you don't already have one in your shop, get one. They rock. It's a lot better than normal air tools because, you know, you don't have to worry about lugging around an air hose all over the place. Brake caliper. Take my handy dandy 18-volt impact. Start. I have to disassemble the wheel bearing hub. Take this off. Now I gotta blow this spindle off. So here's the whole spindle. Set that aside. Well, that's all I'm using from the Daytona, just the trailing arm. So now I'm going to take the tiger paw to it, clean up all the rough edges, and then send it off to powder coat. So now comes the fun part. This is the front K-frame, all finished. I used my angle grinder and the tiger paw to dress up all the welds, get all the slag off, clean up all the sharp edges, and now this one's ready to go. I'm going to move on to the rear trailing arm next and get that one all prepped up. This is obviously the dirty part of the job, and I don't mean like Pam Anderson dirty in a good way. I mean like you get pretty filthy, so fun. So for comparison, and to show you guys what I'm talking about for preparing these pieces for powder coat, over here is the piece before I started doing any work to it, and this is the piece that I just finished up. Basically what you're looking at is powder coaters, when they get these pieces, they want to go in and remove all these casting edges, any rough surfaces, any irregularities in the material. So the powder will stick to it a lot better when they heat it and melt the powder. It'll actually run away from all these edges and seams. So what they want to do is clean it up so it's nice and smooth on all the edges, and you'll see I've done that with this part. Now the part after the initial grinding of all the casting flaws will be sandblasted before it's powder coated. So I'm going to let them do all the sandblasting. I'm just trying to get some work out of the way, save me a little bit of money because I know they're going to do it. So I might as well do it myself before I send it to them, save some time and money. Over on the trailing arm, what you want to look for weld prep, you want to clean up all the edges, get all the burrs, slag off of it. So this side is pretty much not even started on yet. You can see all the welds haven't been ground on. Over on the other side, I just finished up on this side. The edges of this were cut with some kind of torch and it was all rough, so I cleaned all that up. All the welds I dressed in. I took a grinder to them, and then I took a tiger paw to them to polish it all up. So now it's all nice and smooth. I went over all these edges to make sure they're nice and smooth. So again, they're going to take this in, they're going to sandblast it, and then they're going to powder coat it. So I'm not going to worry about any cleaning it up or sandblasting. Alright, so here it is. This is all of my suspension pieces that are getting ready to go to powder coat. The front K-frame, the A-arms, rear trailing arm, sway bar, and a whole box of miscellaneous goodies like my pedal box, my front coilover tubes, and all that stuff. So this is pretty much my before video, and I'll show you what they look like when it's all powder coated.